The houses along Quarter Lane from left to right are enslaved servants' quarters built circa 1850, a tenant farmer home built circa 1910, an enslaved servants' quarter duplex built circa 1850, and the home of Joseph Osborne, a dairy farmer, and his wife Louise, the Stewart's housekeeper. Plantations like this were farmed by enslaved people before the Civil War and also by sharecroppers who lived and farmed on the plantation owner's land and gave him back much of their profits. Sharecroppers lived in those tenant houses mentioned before, built in 1910. In 1662, enslavement was legalized. The first African Americans here had a variety of roles in the New World, from indentured servants, freemen, landowners, to slaves and even slave owners. Their complex role in the founding of America is controversial, poignant, and inspiring. Indentured servants came here with a debt to work off for whoever paid their passage to America, so they worked for gentlemen that could afford to pay their passage and had land grants, and then were freed at the end of their service. The first farm laborers here were probably white indentured servants. The Joneses did have between 10 and 35 enslaved people on the plantation throughout the years. However, even at the time of the Civil War, 30% of the African American population of Surrey, which was 80% of the people in the county, were free. Some of the sharecroppers after the Civil War were white. The farm manager in the early 1900s, Henry Blunt, was African American. You will see his house later on in the tour. The Stewarts built the remaining barns in the 1920s and 30s. These housed 10 to 15 horses, both draft and riding horses, and mules in the 40s and 50s. Joe Osborne trained the horses. Mr. Stewart's horse was named Colonel, and Mrs. Stewart's horse was named General. Mrs. Stewart, though active in hospitality and conservation organizations in Williamsburg with her friend Abby Rockefeller, definitely preferred riding to entertaining. To continue your tour, please continue further down Quarter Lane until you are at the grounds of the Jones Stewart Mansion. Then listen to track 4 titled Gardener's Quarters and Formal Gardens.